Reflecting on my math and science experience brings to mind both positive and negative memories. My name is Shondell Busby, and this is my math and science story. My earliest memory of math takes me back to my dining room table where my father would make me study my times tables. I also had a big times table chart on the back of my door that I had to study every day. Soccer was my favorite thing to do, and he would even use the drive on our way to soccer as an opportunity to play math games and to quiz me. I always looked forward to doing flashcards with my dad, and sometimes correct answers would result in a reward. I remember my dad telling me that if I saved all of my small money, it would add up to even bigger money and I could use it to buy something special. When I started elementary school, I felt fairly confident when it was math time. I was eager to learn, ready to do the work, as I had a pretty good understanding of the basics of math. Most of my elementary school teachers continued the trend set by my father by making math a fun learning experience. The transition from elementary school to high school, however, proved to be less of a fun experience and much more challenging. The introduction of words and letters redefined math as the curriculum became more about the complex subjects of algebra, trigonometry, calculus, etc. I even noticed a difference in the teaching methods and a heightened expectations of independence. I got to a point where I felt I was just doing the work to achieve a passing grade and secure my high school diploma rather than actually engaging in my learning. I became frustrated trying to understand how all of these obscure math operations would apply or be useful in life outside of school. My enjoyment of math was further diminished by a discrepancy between the efforts and hard work I was putting in compared to the results I achieved, which fell below my expectations. I became less engaged, less interested, and I did not look forward to attending math class. While at the time I could not appreciate the value of wrestling through my work, the article, Teaching is a Cultural Activity, has inspired me to reconsider the benefit of allowing students to struggle through problems as it challenges them to dig deeper and develop diverse strategies. It also has confirmed that balance is key, and it is equally important to encourage students and praise them for their efforts while providing direction in order to maintain their interests and enhance their success. The Making Math Meaningful article also has beneficial implications for teaching. In this article, Marion Small speaks to the significance of the instructional methods teachers use to facilitate understanding. The author further indicates that the success of these methods are heightened in classroom with rich tasks embedded in the real-life experiences of children. As a teacher, I will challenge myself to develop creative techniques and approaches within the realm of the curriculum to promote learning and retention through application to real-life examples wherever possible. I believe this method will prove to be not only interesting, but will also have a positive impact on the learning experience of my students while teaching them the value of math as it pertains to life outside of the classroom. When I think about my experiences in science, on the other hand, it was not as drastic a change as math from elementary school to high school. In the Motivating Students in Science Using Discrepant Events article, they discuss students' need to feel satisfaction in their science accomplishments in order to continue to be motivated to learn. If science class is not satisfying, they will find it boring and stop paying attention. This could not reign more true in my life as a student. The first thing I can remember about science is planting a bean in a white styrofoam cup and leaving it by our classroom window. Each day we got the opportunity to tend to our growing plant, giving it the necessary care. I was so fascinated and eager to see my cup come to life. I can remember rushing into the class each day, excited to see something come out of the dirt. And finally, 2 weeks later, I saw my bean come to life. A little green stem. That was a special moment for me because I did it. I accomplished something and got to see the fruits of my labor right before my eyes. This little activity set the precedent for what I thought science class was going to be. a series of fascinating hands-on activities that allowed me to tangibly explore and learn about the world around me. Even though we still did work in our textbooks, the teacher almost always had a cool experiment or activity that started the lesson and that would captivate my attention right away and help maintain my interest as the class continued. I really enjoyed science. Upon entering high school, science began to change, as there was more of a focus on textbook learning, homework, and exams. Lab work and experiments became less frequent but more complex and interesting. I remember making volcanoes, dissecting a pig, and observing chemical reactions. I found my retention of and interest in the work was greater when it involved hands-on experiments and discrepant events, compared to work that was strictly based on the textbooks of formal exam material. When teaching science, my method will parallel my approach to teaching math, as I will seek to educate my students not only through textbook teaching, but also through practical hands-on application. As a student, I remember more from actually doing than reading, and hopefully my students will also. Reflecting on my early school experience, it made me more aware of the direct impact that a teacher and their teaching method has on a student's learning experience. I can't even tell you how to find the parabola of a line or recite all of the elements on the periodic table, but ask me how to balance a budget so I'm in the green at the end of the month, or why I need to water my plants so they don't die, then I'm your guy. This shows me how valuable and impactful practical teaching can be. And on that very special day when I begin my journey as a teacher, I will constantly strive to adapt my teaching methods to meet growing and changing needs of my very own students.